welcome back. I am Megan. Yes, I'm Megan. I am a knitter, a dyer, a sewist, artist of hand lettering. I love hand lettering. I haven't done it in a while. I am Little Fish Stitches. I am struggling today to get my words out. I've been kind of pushing myself around all day so far to get some things done, and I am yes, getting things done so that I have some things to show you. And yeah. I don't know. It's Saturday. I was going to wait till Sunday to do my next podcast, but today's Saturday, May 20th, I believe. Yeah. And I just wanted to get at it. This is what I felt like doing today, so that's what I'm doing. And I'm sorry if I continue doing this. It's got to be 80 degrees in this room right now. I am ridiculously warm, and I'm probably going to have to find a different spot to podcast in the summertime, because this is normally my, because I do my actual paid job, which I will show you a little tiny bit about later, but I have a little video I'm going to tack on at the end that is a little tour, I guess you could say. So, yeah. So, back to my habit of, I get up at 6 a.m. usually, on days that I have to get my teenage son off to school, because the bus arrives at 7, so I have to get him up and moving. He does not get up until I drag him out of bed, but that's a whole nother story probably. Anyway, I get up at 6, I get people moving, and then I come upstairs and I do whatever work it is I need to do that day. So, and I'm usually done well before lunchtime, and I can tolerate the room in that setting. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold going on too. Lucky me, my husband shared. So yeah, me, I get up early and I come upstairs and sew, and then I have lots of time later in the day to do all the fun things I like to do, like knitting, which I do downstairs mostly. I hardly ever knit up here. This is my sewing room, pretty much exclusively. So, yes, brain needs to get on track. Yeah. I'm sorry, you guys. But, yes, I'm trying to be as real as possible with my podcast here. So, I'm sweating, and it's hot up here. And I get up early, stupidly early sometimes, to work, to avoid the heat in the summertime, and to have more kid-free time in the afternoon while the kids are at school during the school year. That's what I do. So, let's start out with, you guys are going to laugh at this. What am I drinking? I know a lot of podcasters do this. I don't think I will make this a regular part of my day, but this morning, which is a Saturday, I ran into town to take my son to school because he's going to see a Seattle Sounders soccer game with one of the clubs at the school. So I had to run him into town, and on my way home, I hit up Starbucks. So, and I'm still working on it. It's just a nice Americano with cream and stevia monk fruit sweetener blend. So, because I don't do sugar nearly as much as I used to. I'm trying to be a good person. So, that's what I got going on in there. And I'm glad it's cold, because if it was hot coffee, oy vey. So, I have a finished object. Yay! And I'm so glad because I've been working on this one for this lovely lady who helped us adopt our dog Bella, which, hey, I'll put Bella in here. I took a little clip of Bella earlier this week.
So. You Bella? Bella. Bella. Hi. Oh, Connor's got cheese. Of course, that's why you're over there.
Yes, this lady helped us adopt Bella, and she asked me to make this Stormy Sky Shawl, which is, you can see right back here. This is the one I made for myself, and it was also my test knit for Life is Cozy on Instagram. I do not remember what she is on Ravelry or whatever, but look up the Stormy Sky Shawl on Ravelry. You will find it. It's a free pattern. So, here is, try not to knock things over here. Get this the right way. Now, I literally just finished this a couple hours ago now. And this is in my colorway, which is Mother's Day Violets, which I explained last week. And so this needs to be blocked. You can see the tails here. Oh, goodness. So, reaching here. These are the tassels that I made that are going to go on each little corner. So, but I'm not going to put those on until after I've blocked it. So that's all done. Yay! So I let her know that this will be coming to her in the mail. This is actually a gift from her. So she's paying for my yarn, and I did the knitting part for free. She's gifting it to a friend who is been very helpful to her as she goes through breast cancer, unfortunately. Yes, so happy to do that. And then I wanted to show you an older finished object. This one is, and because I'm unprepared as usual, I will have to link the pattern in the show notes later. And guess what? I started a Ravelry group for, oh gosh, I didn't introduce myself. I'm sorry. As far as well, I did introduce me. I didn't tell you my Ravelry name. And I changed my Ravelry name to match as closely as I could Little Fish Stitches. So it's Little Fish Stitches, but there's no E in Stitches. So it's Little Fish, S-T-I-T-C-H-S. No E-S, just S. Because my name was too long. So I started a group so that I could put show notes in it. And so I put last week's show notes in, and they're very minimal. I mean, I'm new at this. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, so I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. So, what I'm going to show you, this is just a hood. And it's a really pretty cabled hood, and it's got these little mother of pearl buttons going down the front. And so I will unbutton them and show you. I love this color, this pretty pale icy blue, but this is 100% wool, and it's really kind of a scratchy, icky, I don't want it on my face kind of thing. So what I did is I had some pretty creamy polar fleece laying around, so I decided to line it, and then let's see here. So there you go. It's just really warm. Oh my goodness. So this is a nice little hood, and it here, can I button it? I don't know. Crazy things I do. I don't understand, but I had so much fun podcasting last week, so I had to do it again, I guess. So I'll leave that one undone. And so then you can wear it with the hood up or the hood down, and it's super warm. Oh my goodness. I think I'd have to go to Alaska or something to get proper use out of this thing, but I like it. So living in Western Washington is Oh my, it got below freezing today. It's cold. Yeah. So, those are the finished objects I had to show you, because one was recent, one was, the hood was, I finished it well over a year ago. And then I lined it this past winter with the fleece, because I never wore it because it was too itchy. Okay. So that's it for my knitting finished objects. So I want to show you this kimono kind of thing that I'm wearing. And I will stand up. You're not going to see a whole lot because I'm short. Hey, But you see, look, there's these pretty little golden arrows on the fabric. I love this. And it's this pretty minty green. And I've worn this, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 times since I made it. But yes, I made this, and look, I got little gold fringe on it. So, there is a picture in my Instagram feed of me wearing this. I don't know, it's been a month ago now that I took that picture and posted it. But, yes, I made this. No pattern, because I fly by the seat of my pants a lot of the time when it comes to sewing. I have another item from a very popular in-home sales kind of company that I'm not going to name because, I copied their work. But, yes, I liked the one I had so much, and then I was just randomly at Joann Fabrics up in Olympia, and I found the fabric for this, and I was like, this needs to be one of those things. I'm going to do it. So I did it. Yeah. And it was the first time ever. I'm going to show you something. Let me take this off. Hang on. Oh, one layer down. Woo! So it was the first time ever that I used my serger. And focus. Gonna focus. It's not going to focus, but you can see that it's serged. I have a serger. And I'm not putting this back on because, like I said, it's hot up here. So, I have a serger. It belonged to my grandmother Norton, which is my dad's mother. And she gave it to my mom, and my mom passed it on to me. And so it's kind of an old serger. It's off right over there. Look at that. I got a tattoo this week. This is my 4th one, but yeah. Yeah, so it's sitting over there, and I was staring at it because, talk about something, stare at it. So, anyway, so I got to learn how to use my serger, which is, it was scary, but I figured it out, and now I love it, and I will probably be using it a lot more. So, that's exciting. Works in progress. Ha! Yes, okay. So I'm going to show you 2. First one has been kind of languishing. I started this in January. Now, I'm not a big sock knitter. It's not my favorite thing to do. But I know lots of people are. And so I can't remember. I know this is a kind of bamboo yarn. This is the yarn I'm using. It's really fun and colorful and not too pink, which you will see why here in a minute. I have a very good friend. Her name is Hillary. Hi, Hillary. And I started these at her house. So it's self-striping yarn, and I'm doing 2 at a time. And you see my little stitch markers on the toes tells me which is my starting side, because I like to weave in my ends. I hate those little tails that hang in there and just like flop all over the place while I'm trying to knit. So I weave in my ends as I go. So I am knitting these toe up, obviously. And the stitch markers that are up on the top here, I have marked because I'm going to do a true afterthought heel. So that's where my little, you see one on either side of each sock, where my heels are going to go in. So I texted her a while back and I said, hey, how long is your foot from heel to the tip of your big toe? And she's like, well, it's whatever it was, And the tip of my index finger to my elbow is such and such a measure. And then she just randomly texted me all sorts of measurements. And I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks, Hillary, I love you. And, but anyway, I had started these when I was up visiting her. She lives a couple hours away from me. Stinker, you need to move back, Hillary. Anyway, so this is my Hillary's socks in bamboo yarn. And I have the label somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's in my drawer downstairs by where my little knitting station is downstairs. Because yes, I have a knitting station. So yes, Hillary's socks. I am just literally to where the heel would go in. So I've got a ways to go. I got to get the legs done. I got to stop ignoring this project because someday I'm going to see Hillary again and she's going to want her socks. So I've been keeping those in this, I love this fabric, it's so cute, bag that I made for myself. And I was, a couple weeks ago, the bag hitting bug kind of hit me, and I wanted to make some, and this side is chevrons. So I just went and raided my fabric stash, and so the inside, literally can turn it, it's basically the same thing on both sides. So it's lined, and there's no interfacing or anything in this one, and I dug through all my sewing supplies, and the only zipper I could find was this kind of rusty brownish one. And I'm pretty sure that this zipper is older than I am. Which, by the way, I have to tell you guys something. Yeah, this was an inherited item from my grandmother on my mother's side. She passed away when I was pregnant with Connor, my little guy that you guys saw last week. Yes, but anyway, so back to the story about my age. I cannot believe I did this, you guys. I can't believe it. I told you I was 38. That's because my husband is now 38. His birthday was at the beginning of this month. We were born in the same year. So I'm not quite 38 yet. My birthday's in October. I'm 37. I couldn't believe it when I realized. It was well after the video had posted. I'm like, wait a minute. I said I was 38. I'm not 38 yet. Okay. So, that ridiculousness taken care of. I'm going to pause here for a second. I have actually show notes. I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to look at my show notes. Not that they're very extensive or anything, but I did have a list of things I wanted to talk about. So, what I'm going to do is show you... See, I'm already looking back at the list. Why did I even make it? I don't know. Show you some of my stash. I have... I can reach over here and grab the basket. Ignore my lovely noises. So, I got this basket. This canvas basket thing. This is where I keep my favorite yarns, which I kind of cleaned out a little because it was getting a little crazy. Put away some things that were less favorite. So, or, just new, and I needed a place to stuff them so that maybe my husband didn't notice that I bought more yarn. Anyway, so this one is just some Cascade Heritage sock there, and you can see how much I paid for it. Not terribly expensive, but I bought this when I could not quite decide what yarn I was going to use in my oh good lord, I forgot to show you. Okay, so we're going to go back to that. I'm going to set this down here. So I am doing the... Words come slowly to me sometimes. Hohi Locatelli's Mystery Knit Along. So, spoiler alert! If you haven't finished step 1, stop watching right now. So, I have managed to finish step 1. So, when I was deciding what color I was going to use as color number 2, oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Oh, this is the back side. Ha ha ha. So, This is my version of the Starting Point Wrap Mystery Knit Along. So, in this, I have this pale pink color is one of my hand-dyed colors, and guess what? It has a name. This is now known as Strawberry Freckles. And then this one is the one that Cascade Sock was a possibility for color number 2. But I ended up using Malabrigo Sock Pearl. And then this one, this green color right here, this is my colorway, Happy Go Lucky. And then this charcoal gray color is Cascade Heritage Sock. And then again, my colorway. And then this bright pink is Malabrigo Sock in Light of Love. So those are the colors that I'm using, all 5 of my colors. So that is the step 1, and I've got them both on the same cable. I just used a really long cable. So if you weren't aware, you had to make 2 of these, and I am on this one. I have started step 2, but there's not much to it yet. You can't see. It's just a couple of rows of garter at this point. So that is all my works in progress that I'm going to show you. I can't show you anything. I'm sorry, I'm reaching down. My bag is on the floor. I'm not going to show you anything from the sweater that I showed you, that test knit sweater last week, because I did like 10 rows on it. Nothing exciting. And I'm sorry, I'm still sweating. It's hot up here. But I am keeping my Mystery Knit Along in this Wonder Woman bag. Woo! And there's my little label, because yes, I made this. I was wanting a bigger bag, and I didn't have any big project bags at all to keep this whole project in, because it was getting a little crazy with all those 5 different balls of yarn. So I made myself a bag, and see my sewing machine, see that little like black stitching on the fabric line? My machine does some fun little things. There's that tattoo again. I know my parents probably hate it that I have tattoos, but they love me anyway, right? So, along the lines of sewing and works in progress and whatnot, because I'm going to skip the basket a little bit further, I want to show you, I'm going to be listing probably, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, because I have a job that requires that I, complete projects so we can make money. So that's my priority. But at this point in life, at my Etsy shop is my secondary thing. But it has been a little more active lately because people like yarn. Yeah, people like yarn. So, just going to show you. I've been making some different style project bags. I don't remember if I showed you last week. I don't think I did. My round project bags. I'm going to grab them. Why not? Here's one. I don't remember if I showed these, but anyway. This is a drawstring style. And it's got a little bit of interfacing in it, and you can pop down the opening and you get, what's in there? Tags, more my little tags, because I don't know why they're in there. So, yes, see, my little tags that I had made from a shop on Etsy that I can't remember the name of right now. So, I have this drawstring style too, and it's great because you just pull the string closed, and then if you wanted to walk and knit, you could. So, I have that print, this pretty little, like, dahlia style flower and gray polka dots. And then I have, oh, here we go. This one is a different print. It's a little bit, it's like peachy teal, golden tan colors, floral, and then little teal birdies print. They're bound with bias binding, which in the video that I'm going to pop in at the end of the show, you'll see how I did this, sort of. You'll see where I did this. That's the way to put it. Okay, so back up here. All right. These other bags. So aren't these fun? So these ones are going to be mine because I made mistakes on them, but similar versions will be going into the shop in the next week or two. Same fabrics. Maybe not the handles, because these handles correspond to the lining that I put inside the bags. So I'm going to show you macaroons. I love it. Rainbow macaroons. I love it. Okay, so I'll flip this around. So you can see in here the lining is this orange polka dot, and this is a little, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the camera or screen and not the camera, but I gotta kind of watch what I'm doing here. There's a little pocket in there for some small notions, not very big notions, but you know, you can throw in a cable needle or whatever. And these are good for probably 2 cakes of yarn, or one, you know, it's a shawl project or a pair of socks or whatever, you know, smallish projects, but it's not too small. They're pretty spacious actually, and they are lined. They're pretty stiff-sided. You hear that? They're pretty stiff-sided. I use some heavy-duty interfacing in these, like almost like a sheet of felt, basically, because I like that they keep their shape and your stuff isn't getting squashed inside. But I'm probably also, because I got a couple yards of each type of fabric, the macaroons and the lemon print, which is so cute. They're both so cute, but honestly, this one makes me happy. This is my favorite. But I like the lemons too, so why not? Yeah. So those are going to be mine because I made mistakes on both of these, and I don't want to send out something with a mistake on it. So down they go over there, because I'm always going to need more project bags anyway. But yeah. I'm sorry. It is so very warm up here. Alright, so back to the stash. Oh, one more. This was a little project bag I made at that first I need to make project bags bug hit me. So it's pretty basic. There's 0 interfacing. You can like wad this up in a little ball. And I kind of like that too because it makes it easier to stuff in my purse. So it's always nice to have something on the go. Alright, cold coffee, cold lukewarm coffee. Anyway, back to the stash. As we all saw, I have my little thing of Cascade Heritage sock yarn. That would hold it right side up, that would be good. And then this one is by Life with String. It says yarn with personality. It is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon fingering weight, 443 yards, and the colorway is called There's a Parrot in My Candy Dish. How silly is that? I love it. This is dyed in Washington State. Yay, Washington State. So this is the label here. Life with String, and there's the little lady with her knitting sticks in her hair, and it says dyed in Port Orchard by Stacy. Thank you, Stacy. This is cute. I got this, and it's been a couple months ago now. It's been sitting in my stash for a while at my semi-local yarn shop, the Black Sheep Yarn Boutique. So yes, there's that one. And I'm gonna, most of these, I have 6 skeins I'm going to show you. I cannot count. 6. Goodness. 6 skeins of yarn I'm going to show you. But 5 of them came from Black Sheep Yarn Boutique. So I'm going to show those ones first. So she's got some good stuff at her shop, I tell you. Really. I have this Shibui Lunar lace weight yarn in this deep purple color, which I think, I'm trying to see if there's a, oh yes, the color is called Imperial. So it's a very, well, obviously I love purple. It's nearly the same color as my hair. Very pretty. I have a plan for this. I'm pretty sure there's a shawl that I'm going to make. I have several shawl patterns printed out, but they're downstairs at my knitting spot. So there's that one. And then there's this one, this other Shibui in the color Ash. And it's just a pretty pale silvery gray. And it looks almost white on the camera there, but also lace weight. And I'm going to pair these together, but I think I need to go back and get one more color or another of the Imperial colorway, the purple. Because I think the shawl that I have planned for these, ugh, I'm sorry, my face is sweating. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I think the shawl that I'm planning calls for 3 skeins of yarn. So, and then this one I just had to get because the color makes me happy. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It is such a beautiful bright yellow. And I love how tonal this is. I mean, oh, I don't know what I'm going to make with this, but it's beautiful. And I gotta show you the label because this is my first ever Madeline Tosh. So, this is a Madeline Tosh DK, and the colorway is called Chamomile. Obviously, you can see why. So, but yes, there is 225 yards or 205 meters if you go that way. I don't. Yes. So, I really like this. This is probably going to be the hat. Be like Amy of the Stranded podcast and wear skeins of yarn on my head. We'll see. So, that is 5 out of 6, and those 5 were all from the Black Sheep Yarn Boutique. Now this one is a special one. I randomly decided to participate in a giveaway on Instagram. Never thought I would win, but, and this is caked up terribly, and I don't have the label anymore because I'm terrible, but I know who it's from because I won it. And I know it's worsted weight, and I remember, pretty sure I remember the name. I'm pretty sure it's called Jawbreaker. And you'll see why here in a minute. But it's worsted weight and a couple hundred yards. Is this? All that. My camera only goes for half an hour. Apparently, I am talking today. So, anyway, back to this. This right here. Because my brain turned off when the phone did, apparently. Ugh. Dye for knitting, which I mentioned last week. I have this back there. One of those skeins is from him. So Indie Dyer, you can find him on Etsy and Instagram as Dye for Knitting. So that's my stash that I'm going to show you today. The only acquisition, because I haven't bought any yarn other than that first Cascade sock that I showed you. Oh, my face. The only acquisition, and this is sort of an old, not super old, but sort of old acquisition, is I got a Chowgu interchangeable needle set at Black Sheep Yarn Boutique. I'm keeping her in business, I guess. But I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So it came with up through size 8, 2 through 8 needles. And then I've added 9 and 10 because I do use those sizes on a fairly regular basis, and so I wanted to have them. So I'm glad that it had the extra spots in this little quilted padded case. So I really like this. This is, it was an investment. It was not cheap, but I love it. And then this little zipper pouch on the front where I keep all my needles and whatever, and the little key things for changing the cords. So, ChiaoGoo needles. I love them. I love them. I had this other set of needles. I got at Joann Fabrics for, there was probably, I cannot remember the brand name right now. It was a wooden set of needles with interchangeable cords and stuff, but the cords were plastic, and they wanted to stay in little tight circles. So when I was knitting with them, it was very uncomfortable too. And I was like, I would have to twist my needle around in my knitting to make sure that the cord was not all wonky. You know, whatever. I'm crazy. Anyway, I liked them. The needles themselves were nice. It was the interchangeable cord part that I did not like. And then I was thinking, I had like these that this pair of socks that I'm knitting is on ChiaoGoo needles that I got because I broke a pair, and I'm pretty sure, it doesn't say on here, but I'm pretty sure these are size 1 US needles, and I liked this lace on it, so I decided that to try the interchangeable set of ChiaoGoo needles, and I am so happy I did. So that's really my only acquisition. So now I just want to show you something that I do with my patterns, and I told my mom about this, and so she does it too. At Joann Fabrics a while back, a couple of years ago now, they had these little metal frames that, you know, just kind of, and there were little magnets that you could buy with them. So this is what I do. I'm not gonna, this is what I do with a pattern when I need to constantly reference it. Like, you know, if it's a super lacy or cabley kind of pattern, it's great, and it, you know, easy to keep my pattern handy and not lost in the stack of patterns that I keep. I should probably just find a 3-ring notebook and file those away or something. And then another place that I keep notes is this. Look at this. This is not the most adorable notebook ever. This is my knitting notebook that I started fairly recently. I just kind of, I've been writing a pattern, and it's been a struggle. It's that one up there. I love it, but it's been a struggle. I have got to figure out, I had to set it down. I frogged the whole thing, had to set it down. It's been about 3 weeks since I even thought about it. Basically, I need to get back to it because I know it's going to be an amazing pattern, and I'm so close. I just got a little frustrated that I needed a break. So, but I'm writing it. That's where my sock pattern is written that I showed last week, the pink and crazy green. I've got a couple other ideas for, basically this is my pattern writing / idea notebook. And my brain, it's like I see things. So I saw somebody at church a couple weeks ago, and I kind of liked the way her top was laying, and all of a sudden I had this idea. I'm going to make some sort of like lace, it's going to be a tank top, lace type thing, and like yoke part, and then I have this fabric right back here that I'm going to attach to it. See, this is me fabric. It's very loud and kind of crazy, but so pretty. That I bought because it's me fabric, and it's been sitting, and I've been wanting to, sew more of my clothes, but it's kind of a challenge. But anyway, excuse me. Sorry. Like I said, my husband shared his cold with me. Lovely. More coffee. Good. Okay. So, somehow that fabric and some sort of pretty lacy yoke thing. Yeah, that's one of my ideas. So, okay. Moving on to yarn. Okay, so I've been doing some dyeing this week, and I feel like I'm dying because it's so freaking hot up here. And I said freaking, yeah, sorry. Okay, so last week I showed you this skein of yarn, and my younger sister, because I have two of them, one's older, one's younger, was watching my podcast, even though she doesn't knit, and she said, that looks like Starburst. So guess what? This is now called Sarah's Starburst, because her name's Sarah, if you couldn't figure that out. And so I dyed up some more of it this week, but somehow the pink, not quite as intense as the prototype one, but I still really like it. There's, I think I need to, I don't think I wrote down my combination quite right, but I will figure it out, because I really like this one the best, but this one's pretty darn good too. So, I'm going to, by Wednesday morning, have my shop update done. And then, like I said, this is my strawberry freckles. That's the one that I have going on in my mystery knit along wrap. And I will have a couple of these going into the shop. These are Happy Go Lucky on 75/25 superwash merino sock weight. Sorry, cough, cough, cough. And then this is Mother's Day Violets that got a little heavy on the green. I have a lurker on the stairs. You need to go downstairs, Connor. Now, thank you. So, this is Mother's Day Violets, and this is the one that I showed you my finished project in. The Life is Cozy, Stormy Sky shawl. Goodness, I keep wanting to call it the Life is Cozy because that's the designer's Instagram name. So, anyway, so I have one of these going into the shop. And then I have, it's very similar, less green in the shade. Well, you can't tell here, but this one is a little more brown than violet. I got my combination wrong on this one, so I have two of these kind of wrong ones. So these are going to be, let's see, yeah, there's all right, I have a stack. This is what's going into my shop. So I have 3 really of this mess up, but one is sock, which is this one. Put that over there. And then I have DK Superwash. And then I have worsted, which it doesn't, when you speckle things in worsted, it just does not look the same as it does on Superwash. So this looks a little less defined, more watercolory. So this worsted is 100% wool. 100, not super wash, just 100% wool. So there's that. And then, hi. There's my forehead for you. So I've got one. Maybe by the time I actually get the shop update live, I'll have a couple more of these. But Mother's Day violets. And then the last one, I'm calling this one, I don't think I showed this one at all. But, and I'm going to show you on 2 bases here, because I have 2 bases here. This one is called Blueberry Smash. Can you see why? It's tonal purple with specks of navy blue in it. So, Blueberry Smash. That's, I mean, literally, that's what it looks like. Smashed blueberries. So this one is the 75/25 Superwash Merino. Fingering weight. This one, also fingering weight, but this is tweedy type yarn. This is, it's BFL Donegal Tweed. That's what the label said on my order. So, BFL Donegal Tweed. And it's really kind of fluffy and has a little bit of a halo, not too bad. But I like it. So I'm gonna put one of these in the shop and one on the regular sock base. And then I have another one of these that I am going to keep for myself so I can do some test knitting in it. So, yeah. And then, the rest of the stuff that's going into the shop that isn't already in the shop. These 2. Meet Me in Tahiti. They're already in the shop. One is worsted and one is DK. And then I have sock downstairs, I think, somewhere. So, that one's mine. You can't have it. So then, let's see here. These 3 are going to be one of a kind. Because I'm not sure. The only one I wrote down is the one that's this one right here. That I actually like enough to maybe remake, but I'm not sure yet at this point. I don't have a name for it. I don't know. One of these things over here, sorry. Okay, so this one might get recreated at some point, but for now it's just going to be one of a kind going in the shop. This one, mostly natural base, with basically crazy amount of speckles. I was just doing some experimenting. So this is also one of a kind. And then this one, I believe I showed this last week. It's pretty, but I'm not that in love with it. It's alright. One of a kind. This one, crazy neon with purple specks. I do think I'm going to be recreating this one. But as of yet, this one doesn't have a name. Suggestions, please? Please, help! And then I might have to over dye this one. I'm not sure I'm even going to put this one in the shop. But it's gray base with, it was supposed to be rainbow speckles. I was trying a technique that obviously didn't work out. So I might just have to over dye this. I don't like it at all. So that's it. So most of those will be going into the shop. Probably not the last one. Go have a snack. Get out of here. Show notes back here. I corrected my age. Check. I showed some project bags. Check. I showed FOs. Check. Showed stash. Check. So, as we know, my name on Instagram is Little Fish Stitches. and Ravelry is Little Fish Stitches minus the E in stitches. And so the reason I go by that is my husband calls me Guppy, as in the little fish, which is where my nickname came from. I mean, my business name came from. So I'm going to share the story of how he gave me that nickname. And it's kind of ridiculous. So this happened approximately 16 years and like 10 months ago. Right after we got married. I'm sorry, it's too warm up here. So yeah, slightly under 17 years ago, right after we got married, we were in our bedroom, and our bedroom at that time was in my in-laws' house, which we spent 3 months living with them at the start of our marriage before we moved up to Bellingham for Brian to finish college. Anyway, we've lived with my in-laws far too many times. They are so gracious. I love them. But anyway, moving on from that, we were in our bedroom, and I got up and I said, I gotta go pee. My husband thought I said Guppy. I've been Guppy ever since. 75% of the time, the name that comes out of my husband's mouth when he's talking to me is Guppy. And it's been that way for almost 17 years. So, yeah, kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is. And it prompted my brand name. And, yeah. So, now that I have nearly melted from the heat up here and talked for 40-something minutes at this point, like 45, almost 50 minutes, I'm probably going to have to edit some things out because, yeah, I talk too much about knitting apparently, but I love it, and I love sewing, and yeah, so hey. Anyway, still working on this, looking at this tiny dot on the side of the camera thing instead of me, but hey, me, camera, me, camera. All right. Before I go, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who watched last week's episode. I was at last check yesterday sometime at 97 views. Oh, 97 people watched me blabber on about knitting and sewing. Ah, thank you. And a few people commented, and I really appreciated hearing back that they enjoyed it. And so I will continue doing this. I'm loving it. It's fun. I may have to relocate my set or get to it like at 6 a.m., which then you would see me with hair sticking up and no makeup on. But hey. Anyway. So, Connor's lurking on the stairs again. Are you going to come say goodbye?
No.
No.
But can I have some candy?
Yes, you may have some candy. One piece.
I know.
All right. That's it for the show today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, even if it did get a little bit rambly and forgetful. I'm looking forward to next week. Bye. Hi, guys. Quick update here. I'm sitting at my computer next to natural light. Oh. Anyway, yes. I want you to stay tuned for the video that's coming after the end of my episode. My little, very honest house. Well, not whole house, just a couple of rooms. Mostly so you can see my craft room, my sewing room in its entirety. So, yeah. Been sitting here editing. Such fun. Anyway, I realized I left out part of what needed to be in there, which is stay tuned. Okay. This is what I'm going to call a real-life tour. Look at this room. My 7-year-old son and his Legos. Lots and lots of Legos. Next up is the couch, where his Star Wars book of Legos and his Star Wars pillow and his Minecraft thing. Children. So, what you see right here is the stairway going up to my craft room. And this right here is a painting of my now 13-year-old son back when he was 3. This is, I mentioned my mom was a painter. This is one of her works of art. And I love it. Anyway, on to my little stairway up to my craft room. And I will show you something you guys are going to laugh at. I'm a Doctor Who fan. This is my little Doctor Who collection here. And yes, I have my own Lego set. Got that for Christmas a little over a year ago now. And my son keeps moving that weeping angel. I'm not sure which one of them is doing it. But anyway, if you watch Doctor Who, you'll know why I'm fussing about that. Right here. One of my very first pairs of hand-knit socks laying on the stairs because I leave my socks everywhere. I use this wool blanket as kind of a divider. And obviously it's native because, hey, we're a native family. Well, my husband and sons are. And here, up at the top of the stairs, that's where most of my podcast watching happens. Because I sit up here quite a lot. And work, and work. And here is my messy, messy craft room. Oh yes, and there's my string of TARDIS lights. And see that blanket that's kind of tucked in the winter? We have wood heat downstairs. And if I don't put that blanket down when the wood stove is going, this room turns into an oven. So there is a good chunk of fabric in those bins. That's a big portion of fabric stash. That white basket has all my lovely acrylic yarn in it that I keep for crafty things. Oh, and there's my shawl on the floor over there because, you know, why put things away? I mean, really. And then this right here is one of my work machines, my industrial sewing machine that puts the binding, or this thing right here, the bias binding, on stuff that I make. And then this is the crazy corner. Crazy corner. And see those buckets? Those are work buckets. But they became yarn storage buckets for quite a long time. And then my ironing station, because I need one. And then there's my little air conditioning unit that will need to be pulled out soon for the summertime. And storage of stuff. And now we're back looking down the stairs. So, you probably didn't need to see my mess, but I'm trying to keep this as real as possible. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a work in progress. It's going to become some project bags. Woohoo! So, I just wanted to show you a little bit of what this room is. These bins right here are part of my work supply. And this is my personal sewing machine. And my serger back behind it. And this is my other work sewing machine. That, yes. I have gigantic industrial style machines. And then here's my little, I'll try to glare out the machine, swatches that I kind of mentioned at last podcast. But anyway, I'm just trying to give you an idea of what things are really like around here. Yeah, that's my bed. That's the craft room bed / storage area. And there's a couple more bags in progress over here. You can see those. Anyway, just a real life tour of my work room / craft room. So there you go. I'm gonna try this. I hope it works out well. Here's my hand, guys. Ooh, look at that. Hi. Yeah. Oh. Finish object. I'll talk a little bit about that later on. Okay. I hope that wasn't too close, guys. I'm sorry if it was. I'll see you in a bit.